national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Tavis.
Yeah, yeah.
Shine, flies, no time to waste while it's passing you by. Shine, flies, be patient, 'cause good things happen in time. We gon' get it right, we gon' get it right, we gon' get it right. We gon' get it right.
Protests and anthems, yes, we chanting a movement of people. It's like we dancing to the ministry of. It's the energy of, in memory of them that we love. The trinity of the people, the peace, the power, the truth. We speak the powers even louder. We can say it blacker, we can say it prouder. A woman vice president that went to Howard. Now we talk helping black businesses, and our differences is magnificent. Bringing light to the poor and where the prisons is. I was told good life is where forgiveness lives. The ascension is to leave what's left behind and feed the seeds with deeds that bless the mind, caress the mind, and question justify with you and God in time, my best align.
Shine, flies, no time to waste while it's passing you by. Shine, flies, be patient, 'cause good things happen in time. We gon' get it right, we gon' get it right. We gon' get it right. We gon' get it right.
How can I be a better father, son, a better grandson, honoring Fannie Lou's and the Fred Hamptons, the Harriets, the chariots that carry us to various areas that marry us to progress. Yeah, we the harvest, the lovely days and midnight marauders, even through charges and days of darkness. No, we in the hands of the greatest artists. I see it in the waters, I see it in our daughters. They could be bridges that know no borders. For so long, them folks try to ignore us.
You are listening to and streaming Amor Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm your host and White House correspondent, Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey, checking in for duty. I'm in touch, and so you be in touch. Follow me on all the socials at Dr. Nii-Quartelai. Just type in Dr. Nii-Q, DRNIIQ, and there I am, fresh for you to follow. Also, be sure to download the KBLA app to listen to us live or on demand, or just tell Alexa to play KBLA Talk 1580. Last but not least, subscribe to a More Perfect Union podcast. That way you'll never miss an episode. Now, listen, the clock is ticking for you to go ahead and hold out your fingers just like this, right? Fingers and thumbs. And get on your device, get on your computer, go to KBLA1580.com to register for the Left Coast Forum. It's all going down on October 25th. That's this Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. You are in for quite the experience. Keynotes from Dr. Cornel West, from Richard Wolff. You'll also hear from so many leaders on the front lines, many of which have been guests on this show right here. You'll have a chance to hear from them in person. You'll have a chance to learn about what they're doing to protect our communities, protect our democracy, and more importantly, where you can tap in. And so go to KBLA1580.com to register for free for the Left Coast Forum. I'll be there. And so you should be there and be squared. All right. Now, with that, it's time for your national news roundup. It's time for you to decide the good, bad, and ugly headlines of the day. And yes, even all the way here in California today, we can see that there is some ugly taking place in Washington. NBC News reporting that the Pentagon's plan to limit contact with Congress is not going to work. Well, according to one lawmaker, senior Republican lawmakers predicted today that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's new policy restricting communication between Pentagon personnel and Congress will crash and burn. It is ill-advised and not going to work. That's what House Appropriations Committee Chairman Tom Cole said today, whose panel provides funding for the Pentagon and the rest of the federal government. We know that Cole, who is a Republican, whose Oklahoma district includes Tinker Air Force Base in Fort Sill, said that he and his staff receive important information from personnel up and down the ranks on a regular basis, on a wide range of topics, including the effects of a political stalemate in Washington that has paused certain government operations. Secretary Hegseth announced the new policy about a week ago in a memo that was obtained by sources after its existence was revealed by Breaking Defense. It's a part of the Secretary's broader effort to control the flow of information out of an agency that employs more than 3 million people. You got to ask yourself, if the Secretary is going to these extreme lengths to control information, what is it that Secretary Hegseth does not want us to know? What is it that he doesn't want Congress to know? Congress, whose constitutional role is to provide oversight to the agency, oversight to the Pentagon. So he got 3 million employees and he's like, mind your business to Congress? You don't want Congress asking no questions? You don't want Congress talking to nobody? We got to ask ourselves why that is the case. We got to also ask ourselves, why is it that right before the election, we're seeing folks start to panic about Black and Hispanic turnout in New Jersey, the New Jersey governor's race to be exact. New Jersey Democrats and prominent state leaders have expressed concern that Black and Hispanic voters, historically forming the backbone of the party, may not turn out for Representative Mickey Sherrill, the Democrat, in her quest to succeed term-limited Governor Phil Murphy. The Hill.com is reporting that some have chalked up the apathy as lingering from last year's election between former Vice President Kamala Harris and President Trump, as well as years of failed outreach between the two parties. Others say Mickey Sherrill simply isn't doing enough to court their votes. While New Jersey has typically been thought of as a reliably blue state, the Democratic Party can't take the Garden State for granted this November. And so if you're one of our leaders, learners, and listeners in New Jersey, spread the word. Don't take New Jersey going blue for granted, because there is indeed a lot at stake. All right, back here at home, the LA Times reporting that Malibu residents flee as international buyers snap up burned up lots. We know that nearly a year after the Palisades fire, Malibu has issued just 4 rebuilding permits compared to hundreds in the Pacific Palisades. Property values are plummeting as burned lots sell at 20 to 60% discounts, with frustrated homeowners choosing to sell rather than navigate the stringent permitting. Locals fear that Malibu's identity will change as international buyers and developers snap up properties while residents struggle with costly regulations. And so for the folks who don't live here in the LA area, you should know that Malibu is its own city. Malibu is not a part of the city of Los Angeles. They're part of the county of Los Angeles, not the city of Los Angeles. So they have their own mayor in Malibu. But Malibu is also not too far away from the Pacific Palisades, which is in the city of Los Angeles. But to the folks in Malibu, the Malibu residents, doesn't make a difference. The fact that they are a smaller city does not mean that they are faring any better in terms of going through the permitting process. And so it's not just Malibu, but folks in the Pacific Palisades and even folks in Altadena are having to keep an eye out on these international buyers that are moving in to try and snap up land. When we come forward, we are switching gears. I'm delighted to share my conversation with Dr. Ian Smith. He has a new book out. Can you believe it's his 29th book? And it's nonfiction. And it's a page turner. And you're going to want to know all about it and more. You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward with Dr. Ian Smith.
You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
With
Civic Tax Relief, they were able to save me upwards of $80,000 that I would have had to pay had I not reached out to them.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies.
I owe the IRS $37,000.
They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS. By the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-285-3500, 800-285-3500. Don't wait. Call now. 800-285-3500, 800-285-3500.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
On Thursday evening, November 6th, you're invited to the next KBLA Talk 1580 Altadena Town Hall meeting. This time, we're convening at Victory Bible Church, 1497 North Hill Avenue in Pasadena. The town hall will once again be broadcast live on KBLA Talk 1580 from 4 to 6 p.m. on Thursday, November 6th. But you're invited to join us in person for this urgent and necessary community conversation. The theme for this Altadena Eaton Canyon Fire Town Hall is Understanding the Wildfire Recovery Compensation Fund. The primary focus of this gathering is to inform residents about Southern California Edison's newly launched Wildfire Recovery Compensation Program and provide clarity on eligibility and the claims process. There are plenty of questions to be asked, and only KBLA Talk 1580 has the right moderators to ask the tough questions, the right stakeholders and community activists to share their insights, and we have confirmed the participation of corporate executives from Southern California Edison to answer our queries. So be sure to join us at Victory Bible Church in Pasadena, 1497 North Hill Avenue on Thursday, November 6th. The event is free and open to the public, but registration is required at KBLA1580.com. That's KBLA1580.com. Light refreshments will be served immediately following the live town hall. This KBLA Talk 1580 Altadena Rising Town Hall is brought to you by Quinn Emanuel Trial Lawyers and the Black Freedom Fund.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, Black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's cal-cruise-news.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-259-9922. 800-259-9922. That's 800-259-9922.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
Seems like there's more identity theft in the news every day.
Another major healthcare breach was reported today, resulting in the exposure of 1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity.
That's because there are endless places that could accidentally expose you to identity theft, in a breach, or simply by mistake. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
Hit me! National news of consequence, informed opinion, and analysis beyond the headlines. You're listening to A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey, and we're going to be sharing with you that conversation that we had with Dr. Ian Smith shortly. But in the meantime, we're going to switch gears. I want to share with you a conversation I had with Iona Morris Jackson. She's an actress, she's a director, she's a writer, she's a poet, and she's going to be at the Left Coast Forum this Saturday. You don't want to miss her session. Take a listen to our conversation from just earlier today. Take a listen. You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey, and I am delighted to be in conversation with the great Iona Morris Jackson.
Thank you.
She's a writer. She's an actress. She's a teacher. And if you didn't know, she directed one of the most memorable episodes from Blackish. If you remember, during the 8th season, there was an episode called If a Black Man Cries in the Woods. And it was so good. It was nominated for a Hollywood Critics Award and an NAACP Image Award for Best Director of a Comedy. That's just one of her many credits. But if you want a taste of the talent, the genius of Iona Morris Jackson, then I hope you're going to be at the Left Coast Forum in LA on October 25th. There's a session that she'll be participating in around the role of theater in the resistance. Here to talk about all that and more, Iona Morris Jackson.
Hello, Dr. Quartey. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your body of work. Thank you for seeing us, and not just the royal us as a community of Black folks, but seeing Black men through the prism, seeing Black women through the prism that you bring to the arts. Talk to us about the kind of artist you always hoped you would be, and have you achieved that yet? Do you believe that yet?
I still have more to do. I don't feel I've achieved that just yet, but I do feel everything I do, whether I've written it or I'm directing it or I'm acting in it, I wanted to speak to who we are as people, mainly Black people, yes, but who we are as the human race, to reflect in some way a part of society we may think is ugly, to reflect in the good parts of society, to reflect possibilities of new ideas of how we can combat what we face every day. I think it's very important. The art started from a place of people wanting to protest, people wanting to speak out. And so they wrote plays. And those who they were protesting against came and saw the plays, and they laughed, and they saw the people knew that they were being inspired by what was being said, but by what they saw on that, at that time, on that stage. And so what I aim to do and what I do is to inspire, uplift, open the minds of people, reflect some of history that is being right now erased rather than rewritten. They're not rewriting, they're erasing. And we all have to speak out and protest. And my way of doing it is through my art.
I mean, beautifully said, and a beautiful life as an artist lived. Let's talk about this session that you're going to be a part of at the Left Coast Forum, happening here in Los Angeles on Saturday, October 25th. Your session from 2:45 p.m. to 5 p.m. on the role of theater in the resistance. Talk to us about what the role of the theater should be or shouldn't be in the resistance.
What it should be, which it has been in the past, for example, in the 1960s and 1970s, there was a big Black arts movement to reflect what was happening with police violence, with systemic racism, and also history, to put that on stage so people could come and see what we have contributed if it is not taught in school. Right now, what we are facing in this government we are facing more than just censorship, but the abandoning of what is truth in history. The whitewashing, softening of some ugly truths with the phrase that is just not being considered. If you don't know better, you won't do better. And also, you are doomed to, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. That history is very important. History, no matter how ugly it may make your peoples look, whatever people you are, is not about the blame game. It's about taking responsibility for what has happened, for what your people may have done, taking responsibility in a way of not doing it again. But if you don't know, and then it is set up in such a way where it really wasn't as bad as you think, you're doomed to repeat it. So right now,
the audience is listening, thought-provoking, eye-opening, heart-rendering. This is where authentic voices meet powerful discussions on culture, community, and change. This is where Black voices matter. He's breaking boundaries, amplifying diverse perspectives, and tackling the issues that matter most to you. You're inside A More Perfect Union with Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Illinois Governor J.P. Pritzker is pushing back against Black Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson's plan to reinstate a corporate head tax on large businesses.
It makes it very hard to attract companies from outside of Chicago to come into Chicago, and harder for companies that are in Chicago to stay.
Johnson's 2026 budget counts on $100 million from the tax to help close Chicago's $1 billion deficit. A Lakers fan, Andrew Garcia, has dropped his lawsuit against LeBron James after spending $850 on tickets thinking James was retiring. The second decision tease turned out to be an ad prompting the short-lived fraud claim. And Black Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser is urging the city council to make the city's youth curfew permanent to boost public safety. The summer policy expanded curfew zones and included 17-year-olds, but it expired this month after the council declined to extend it. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Tough in West LA, South 405. Delays from Sunset Boulevard as you continue in stretches all the way to Palo Verde in Long Beach. It's the northbound side of the 405 that's slowing down out of Seal Beach Boulevard. Heading back towards the 710. More slowing ahead in Culver City from Venice Boulevard in stretches all the way to the 5 merge into Sylmar. And it's tough in Santa Clarita. This is a crash on the 14 northbound coming up on Newhall Avenue, and that's keeping the drive solid off of the 5.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and more for a child in poverty. And there are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell announced Wednesday morning that the league is not replacing Latino superstar Bad Bunny
as the main performer for the Super Bowl halftime show. Bad Bunny was picked in September by the NFL to perform at the Super Bowl on February 8th in Santa Clara, California. Conservative groups and some Republicans have been pressuring the NFL to take the Puerto Rico native off the show because of his criticism of President Trump and Trump's immigration policies. When Trump heard that Goodell is not replacing Bad Bunny, he called the decision crazy and ridiculous. This is an interesting situation for the NFL. Many of the league's 32 owners are privately Trump supporters and have donated to both of his presidential campaigns. The real test for the NFL is whether conservatives can convince advertisers to join them in boycotting the Super Bowl. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Break out the champagne. Everybody get a glass.
Tavis Smiley is now ranked number 16 nationally and the highest rated talk show hosted by an African American on the 2025 Talkers Heavy 100 list of the most important talk radio hosts in the nation. Last year, Tavis ranked number 33 and the year before, number 45. The Tavis Smiley Show has rapidly expanded its national syndication to now include nearly 50 radio stations across the country and counting. Congratulations, Tavis.
Yay! I joined the military for my kid and his mom. I miss my son a lot. One of the things with the military is tobacco, but I saw a lot of people try to deal with mental issues. Everyone's vaping constantly. After my first hit of a vape, I was hooked like that. Once I got back home from my deployment, I caught my son trying to hit my vape. That was it. I had to quit.
Isaiah started vaping to try to deal with stress and quit because of his son. Learn how he and other Californians are rising above big tobacco at undo.org.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a Black and Brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to building a more perfect union on KBLA Talk 1580.
Now, theater is very important. The media is very important. Jason Momoa has an amazing series that is streaming about Hawaiian culture, how the islands warred against each other, how they came together, their history, their culture. It is magnificent. That is a form of protest in terms of we got to tell our story. Sterling Brown has a wonderful new series that is streaming. Doggone it. I wish I had it in front of me. George Washington is, let's look it up and find it. But I want you guys to go see this because this is a brilliant series as well about a young Black man who was a slave, who was taken under the arm of a scientist, and then what happened to his life from there.
Washington Black.
Washington Black. It is so good. Have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it. And for folks who are less familiar, it's about an 11-year-old boy on a Barbados sugar plantation who has to flee after a gruesome death threatened to turn his life upside down. And so, another very important story from the diaspora unearthed by Sterling K. Brown and the cast of Washington Black.
Right. And those are things that we have that are streaming. George Wolfe's The Colored Museum. Wonderful, brilliant piece. Yes, you laughed, but you also went, about the history of Black people, about how we are seen not only from the white side, but also from our own, what we see. Amiri Baraka with The Dutchman, another play. A Raisin in the Sun, Lorraine Hansberry. All of these plays, I made some notes because I'm in Atlanta shooting, but I wanted to share just some pieces with you. Those are older pieces. Then there are some newer pieces. Pipeline by Dominique Morisseau. Fairview by Jackie Siblings Drury. We have to take responsibility, I feel. And there are so many other artists who feel this, to put our stories on stage. So we're talking about stage. So let me focus on that. But I want to give you a little more that's out there, that's streaming. We need to put our stories on stage. We need to see us in roles of doctors. We need to see us in roles of the shaman. We need to see our history, to love our history. I just came from Phoenix, Arizona. And my husband was as a percussionist, and he was playing an event there, and it was for a man from Nigeria, and they were going to have a fashion show. The fashions were fabulous. Oh my God, there were 3 designers. They were wonderful. And there were some white models. I, quite frankly, was annoyed. So I said to the producer, I said, why did you throw in white models? And he said, we wear their clothes every day. We need to introduce them to our clothes. We look at their television shows. We listen to their music. We do. Why don't we wear our African outfit to go to the store? And I had brought this lovely African little number so I could be a part in the audience. And when he said that, I thought, I only put that on if I'm going to an event that requires me to wear this. But I could wear this to a cocktail party. And sure, people will come over and say, if they don't know me, they might ask if I'm something of royalty, because, of course, they always think that if you come in dressed in a certain way, as opposed to I'm wearing something that I like. He said all those white models left going, I want to buy this, this, and this. One woman told her husband, call me an African. That's where my roots are from. And at first he said, please. He came and saw the show and he went, yes, my darling. I get it. We have to fall in love with us first.
That's right.
And we can put that on stage and people come and all of a sudden they see themselves differently.
And that's an inside job. I mean, I oftentimes say, on air and off air, I talk to a lot of leaders, elected leaders, appointed leaders, self-appointed leaders. I talk to a lot of leaders every day. And the common through line that I see is that we can't heal what we don't talk about. And dare I say, healing is the most radical thing that any leader can do. Leaders in industry, leaders in government, one of the most radical things that we can do as leaders, and I think everybody has the capacity to be a leader, one of the most radical things we can do is to heal. And so talk to us about these solo journey workshops. I haven't talked to anyone that has the expertise that you have in terms of creating one-person shows. For folks who are unfamiliar, you did Belafonte, the unauthorized shared humanity back in 2017, among a number of other performances, one-person shows. Talk to us about what's required in order to really do that well, because not everybody can do that.
Yeah, not everybody can do it. No, they cannot. But What is required? Oh my gosh. Well, let me say this. Being authentic is important. Being truthful, listening. Now, I know that's the craziest things. I say this to people who come to me. And I said, the most important thing is listening. But I'm the only person up there. Yes, but you are either responding to the audience or you're talking to someone else. And if you want us to believe you are having a conversation, you have to listen to that person. So then I, in the audience, am listening to what I don't hear until you tell me what I just heard. Listening. Very important. One person shows are exciting to me because if you've been in this industry for a long time and people only see you one way, you get a chance to maybe sing, dance, to show your comedic talent, to show a range of emotions when you may be locked into one thing. You get to express yourself either about your life or either you're playing another role. For example, the Harry Belafonte gentleman, Austin J. You get to explore that. And that is always in one person shows you are exploring who you are as a human being. It's the way that I work. We don't do any surface work. You got to dig deep because when you are up there, those people want to hear the truth about whatever you were talking about. So you can't lie. You can't wonder. You can't look at them watching you. You've got to be right there focused in whatever situation you have created. And to remember, this is your dinner party. You invited them to your dinner party. So you can do whatever you want. Including some people say, how can I remember those lines? Baby, they don't know the script. So if you forget a line, they're not going to know. But just keep on going.
Words to live by. Words to live by. Run, don't walk to KBLA1580.com to register for the Left Coast Forum. It's all going down this Saturday at LA Trade Tech. Be sure to check out Iona's session called Role of Theater in the Resistance. It starts at 2:45 p.m. It runs till 5 p.m. I am definitely going to pop in.
Oh, great.
I can't wait to see you in person. You're such an inspiration. I hope you'll come back again to spread more light.
I'd love to. Thank you.
In the meantime, everybody else, be a lighthouse. You are listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580.
Striving to make America a nation as good as its promise. This is A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Donald Trump has all but declared war on California, sending in a National Guard, blocking disaster relief, and cutting funds to our colleges. And now, he and Texas Republicans are trying to rig the next election by stealing congressional seats from black voters in states like Texas.
They want to rig these elections, and they want the power that gerrymandering provides.
Seriously, look it up. But Prop 50 is how we fight back. It gives Californians the power to fight fire with fire and beat Trump at his own game. Prop 50 creates temporary emergency congressional maps that level the playing field and protect the power of black votes. Not just in California, but across the country. Your vote matters, and the whole country is counting on California to lead. So use your vote to protect our power, our history, and our future. Vote yes on Prop 50 by November 4th. Ad paid for by Yes on 50, the Election Rigging Response Act, Governor Newsom's Ballot Measure Committee, Ad Committee's top funders, HMP for Prop 50, and Fund for Policy Reform.
JP Morgan Chase offers tips for the local business owners in 2025. Small business landscape is ever changing, and the Los Angeles market is no exception. A startup or legacy business, revisiting your mission statement and recalibrating offerings can renew opportunities for growth and innovations. Programs like Chase for Business Coaching for Impact gives entrepreneurs access to expert guidance, helping you streamline operations, strategize your growth, and navigate complex challenges. Businesses with a clear sense of purpose can navigate any challenge effectively, but also build stronger customer loyalty. Visit chase.com/coaching for impact for more information. This segment is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase.
You're invited to the KBLA Talk 1580 Community Health and Wellness Fair on Saturday, November 8th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Catch at Audubon Middle School in Leimert Park, 4120 11th Avenue. Join us for a day of health, healing, and community connection. There will be health screenings, immunizations, wellness information, a Catch Charter School recruitment fair, plus music and healthy snacks. And it's all free at the KBLA Talk 1580 Community Health and Wellness Fair, Saturday, November 8th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Audubon Middle School in Leimert Park, 4120 11th Avenue. Come out and bring the entire family. And if you have not yet checked out our KBLA Health and Wellness Hub, you should at KBLA1580.com. KBLA Talk 1580 thanks Catch Charter School, Prudential, Eastside, Cedar Sinai, and St. John's Community Health. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that a healthy community is a thriving community.
That's right, baby.
We face tragedy, but we don't fall into despair. We continue our work to build a more perfect union.
You're listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dr. Nii-Quartelai Quartey. And listen, we've got a number of events coming up. I've been talking a lot about the Left Coast Forum taking place this Saturday at LA Trade Tech. But you should also know that we have an Altadena town hall meeting that is also coming up. It's all about understanding the Wildfire Recovery Compensation Fund. We've seen many headlines sort of swirling around this. We know that there are a number of folks, that are trying to make the best decision they can with the information that they have. And the information around the Wildfire Recovery Compensation Fund hasn't been so clear to everyone. And so we want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence, that we're following through with our commitment to keep our leaders, learners, and listeners in the know. I mean, earlier this year, I don't have to tell y'all that the wildfires, the LA wildfires in Altadena and around the Eaton Canyon area, as well as the Palisades, left too many people absolutely devastated. And these are our family members, these are our friends, these are our neighbors. They are still in the very early stages of recovering from this devastation. And so the clearer we can be with information, the more we can speak truth to people in power, the better. And that's what we intend to do. And so mark your calendar for Thursday, November 6th from 4 to 6 p.m. That also coincides with the time that this show airs. And so we're going to preempt our regularly scheduled show. And instead, we're going to air a special, and that's going to be live from the Altadena Town Hall meeting. That's Thursday, November 6th from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific. This is a free event. And so for anybody in the area, if you go ahead and go to KBLA1580.com to register, you can be there and ask your questions to the powers that be. This is all about informing residents about Southern California Edison's newly launched Wildfire Recovery Compensation Program and providing clarity on eligibility, clarity on the claims process, and more. It's all going down at Victory Bible Church, located at 1497 North Hill Avenue in Pasadena. Also, a reminder that KBLA Talk 1580's Altadena Rising Town Hall. It's brought to you by the folks over at Quinn Emanuel Trial Lawyers and the Black Freedom Fund. And so be sure to check that out. All right. Now it's time for the quiet part out loud. There's a lot of talk out there about AI and the promise of artificial intelligence and, the new industry that is just, beginning to grow and all the jobs that the AI economy will create. But it's worth noting a little inconvenient truth here. The LA Times reported that Meta, the parent company of Facebook and WhatsApp and Instagram, Meta is cutting 600 jobs in their AI division. Now, wait a minute. That don't make too much sense. What's that about? You might wonder. Well, again, according to the LA Times, Meta is slashing roughly 600 jobs in its artificial intelligence unit, just as the tech giant aims to move faster to compete with its rivals. And so you would think if you want to move faster in competition with your rivals, why are you cutting the number of people that you are employing? Well, the company declined to comment on their job cuts, but they did confirm an earlier report by Axios, which cited a memo that the Meta's chief AI officer sent to employees saying, quotes, by reducing the size of our team, fewer conversations will be required to make decisions. And each person will be more load-bearing and have more scope and impact. So you're cutting the number of people that are working in this new division so you don't have to have as many conversations? Well, one would think if you are building technologies powered by AI, technology that moves at lightning speed, technology that may not understand the context of our friends, our neighbors, folks that we're in community with. Don't you want to be careful? You want to move fast, or you want to be careful? Maybe even fast and careful. Well, either way you cut it, the job cuts hit workers in Meta's super intelligence lab. It's a division that several thousand employees belong to. The company is working to bring super intelligence, AI that surpasses human intelligence, to everyone. That's what Meta's CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, said in a July memo. That was just in July. So wait a minute, we're in July, you hired all these people, and we're now in October, and you're saying bye-bye to 600 people. Employees learned today whether they could lose their job. Now, maybe it's a silver lining. Those affected can apply for other roles, but the layoffs won't affect, and the layoffs won't affect workers within Meta's newly formed TBD lab, where they have some pretty prominent researchers and engineers that are working on the company's next generation models. And so, again, Meta, the parent company of Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, they have been doubling down in their AI efforts, spending billions of dollars on initiatives to advance technology. Now, these job cuts are following that recent hiring spree, which involved some pretty lucrative compensation packages to recruit top talent. And so, what does this mean? What does it mean about AI, the rise of AI, the fact that you can very quickly hire a whole bunch of people and pay them a whole lot of money, and then just as quickly say, psych, we're going to do more with less people. In fact, in their judgment, having less people at the table allows them to move even quicker. But I'm not convinced that moving quicker, I'm not convinced that speed is necessarily in our collective best interest. And so I would like to take a closer look at who were these 600 people that got laid off? What were their functions? How many of them were on trust and safety teams? the people that keep an eye out for we the consumers, to make sure that we're not subjected to hate speech as opposed to free speech on the platform, for example. People that are looking out for any sort of algorithmic bias. People that make sure that the technology can recognize and see and affirm. People that look a lot like me and the crew here at KBLA. So Meta's been shedding workers while hiring new ones, but the new ones aren't secure. And if that's the story at Meta, what's that story looking like in the AI economy more broadly? For all the folks that are looking at AI jobs, are they as secure as you think they are? Will you be able to serve in that tenure as long as you would in other functions? We shall see, but this is absolutely worth noting. When we come forward in our next hour, you don't want to miss my conversation with Jeff Pearlman. He's the author of a new book that just came out this week on Tupac Shakur. You don't want to miss that conversation. And just programming note, we are going to reprogram Dr. Ian Smith's interview so that you all can listen to that in full. Don't you worry. But coming up in the next hour, you don't want to miss the conversation with Jeff Pearlman, his new book on Tupac. I think it's over 400 pages. He's interviewed Tupac's sister and other relatives. He got a lot to say. You're listening to and streaming A More Perfect Union on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Harvey, Illinois Mayor Christopher Clark, who is Black, is facing criticism after furloughing nearly 70 city workers amid a financial crisis. A local alderman says the mayor should be more accountable with the finances.
You should know your debts. You know what your debts are. You know when you get paid. You know if you got enough money to pay your bills or when you're going to run out of money.
The city has declared itself financially distressed and is seeking $30 million in state aid. Opening statements are underway